Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and I'm a little rusty because it's summertime, so I don't film videos as often as I do during the school year. But I do have a pretty big update for one of my projects, and so that is what I'm going to show you today. Basically, I like panning my makeup and making sure that I'm using everything, not just favorites or shades that I'm like, ooh, I know I don't like using those, so I should get myself to use them. Sometimes I end up doing that more than using my favorites. So, I'm just trying to make sure I'm using everything. And one of the ways I'm doing that is with the project I called Pans in Every Palette, because there are a lot of people who are trying to have one pan showing in every eyeshadow palette or face palette or whatever. But for me, I want to have a pan, but then I want to have 2 pans and 3 pans and so on. I want, everything to have that attention. So I'm going to show you which palettes have gotten new pans and kind of moved up in their rank in my collection. So if you want to see that, then please keep watching. If you are not new to my channel, then this is old news. But if you are new, I do have a playlist where you can kind of catch up on the progress, which I actually was looking at myself because there was a palette that I'm like, wait, what were the new pans again? I don't remember. That's how long it's been since I filmed this. So some of the palettes, there's no change. My crystallized palette, I'm still at 2 pans. Fairy Tale Fairies, I actually decided to declutter that palette. And when I say declutter, I just mean put it away for now, that I likely won't be using it anymore. It has this smell. It's had the smell for maybe the whole time I've gotten it. I received it as a gift from someone that it was in their collection. They were passing it on. And the other 2 palettes that I got from the person I actually have in front of me, they don't have the smell. And so, because at first it's like, was it just a smell that, came from someone's house that's, it's just like when you go into someone else's house and it smells different. I'm like, was it that? But the fact that the other palettes don't have it, it's like, it's probably something with the palette. And so I just didn't want to use it anymore. I love the colors and all, but it was giving me just weird vibes. So that's decluttered. And I did have a goal, by the way, to hit pan in half of those eyeshadows and in my other pastel palette before I would allow myself to consider getting the one pastel palette from Bella Beauté Bar. I am actually still kind of, we'll get to that when I talk about my other pastel palette. My Pacific Northwest palette, I still just have 2 pans. And then the next one on my list, C'est La Vie, I have 2 new pans to show you. One of the eyeshadows I just kind of have resting here because it's a pain to kind of get them in and out, or I don't know. It just requires getting a tool and I just don't want to. So let's see, how can I best... All right, here, I'm just gonna show you. This has been a pan, okay? So that's not new. I'm just gonna put it down. All right, so then I can hold it like this properly. And so yeah, the new pans, because it was just the 2, right, are this gray and this black. So I was working on them in my Pan Those Magnetics project, which, sorry if this is a spoiler, this whole video for some of my other projects, but that's kind of how it works. And yeah, so now I'm at 7 pans out of the 15, so I feel pretty good. It did take a while to get those pans, so I don't think I'm anywhere close on these other eyeshadows. Next on my list is the Citrus Punch palette. So that was one palette that also came from that friend, and so is this. So this one, I have 1 new pan, and it is the one that is right here, and it is very tiny. So hopefully you can see it, but I am now at 8 pans. And since I've taken out this shadow and I'm not counting it anymore as part of this palette, then let's see, what are we at? I am, oh, is that correct? No, it's not. I'm almost halfway through hitting pan on shadow. So, it did take a lot on that matte eyeshadow, so I feel like, again, the other ones I'm probably not close on, but considering it was an orange, I feel pretty proud of myself because orange is very hard to work into like a lot of looks. Then we have the Dollhouse palette, and so this one, I guess each update now I've had a new pan in here, which is pretty cool. This was a surprise pan, so it was this green right up here. And I am now at 9 pans for this palette. So again, feeling pretty good about that. I don't know what the next one would be. I would assume potentially one of the other metallics that I haven't hit pan on, but also potentially like this matte or this one or even that one, just because I end up using a good bit of those when I use those shadows. Juicy Boost, still at 3. I need to work on it. My Dots Singles, so that's this little set here. Oh, that's right. See, this was also from that friend. And it kind of has that too, so I don't know. But these, it's not as strong a smell, so I don't know. But the new pan here, I'm at 3 now. It is the one that is right in there, so I think you can see that. And I've already had these 2, and yeah, I could probably get pan on this one pretty soon if I was working on it, but I haven't really been using it much recently. Next is from the Treasure Chest, which is a Shine by SD palette, but I have it just with my iridescence here. So now all 6 of them have pan, which is pretty cool. So the ones that just got pan, because I only had 4 before, were this one down here and this one and this one. So 100% pan there. Then I have my Rogue palette is still at 2. My Matriarch palette is kind of divided up here. So we've got 2 of the pans here. And then I have the other 2 are in here. So this is the new pan. And yep, so now I am at 4 out of, how many shadows do I still have from them? Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13. So 4 out of 13, about 25%. Okay, I'm getting shadow on me now. My Vivid Pigments palette, there's no change. It's still 5 pans. All right, now for my Sickly Sweet palette. So I, like I said, wanted to do pan in half of the palettes, this one and the Fairy Tale Fairies, before I would consider the Bella Beauté bar palette. And I actually don't know if I want the Bella Beauté palette. The more I was kind of thinking about it, I do really like the dark eyeshadows that are in my Sickly Sweet, and they're not in the Bella Beauté bar Pastel Garden. And so then I'm like, well, I don't know. But then maybe that would be okay because I have dark colors in other palettes and I can, kind of mix and match. And the shimmers are really good, but like those pastels. But then my friend on here, Andy, was saying that maybe the mattes weren't great. So now I don't know. And yeah, so even if I've gotten closer to hitting half on this one, I kind of feel like that's, I don't know. I don't know if I would feel up for it even if I got to half. And also because I'm down to 1 palette, I'm like, maybe I need to hit pan even more or use up some shadows in it or something before I would consider. Because then part of me is thinking I might just instead repurchase Sickly Sweet. I know it's not the same one because they've changed it, but I still might prefer that over the Pastel Garden. But then part of me is like, I feel like I lose some of that excitement of getting a new palette if it's one I already basically have. And so then I'm like, well, am I just wanting a palette to have a new palette and not for having good pastels in my collection? So those are all the thoughts going through my head. But for this project, I did get 3 new pans from the last time I updated you. So the first one, not the first one I hit, but the first one in the palette is this one right here. It actually looks pretty purple in the pan, but it comes off blue. And then the other ones I got were this blue right here and this purple. So yeah, I was trying to get this purple. This was basically an accident. I was like, oh, there's pan. And then this one, I guess I was kind of trying, but it didn't take very much effort. So I think I was already pretty close. Just like I feel like I'm pretty close on this buttercream shadow as well. And I have some good dips in other ones. So that's why I'm like, I kind of want to just keep working on this. So even though I'm at 13 of the 30, so I guess I'm very close to that halfway, you know, and I see shadows that I think I could get pan on, I still feel like, you know, once I hit pan, I still have a lot of product left. So I feel like I wouldn't need to get the new Sickly Sweet yet, that this palette is still working well and I still have plenty of it left, that it's not like, oh no, I'm running out of pastels. But I also don't know, yeah, it's like, do I still want to get Pastel Garden? I need to kind of see what people are saying, get more reviews, I guess, and that kind of thing, and yeah, see where my mind is at. But yeah, so I am very excited that most of my palettes moved up in their rankings. So I'm hoping to be able to, you know, keep doing that. I mean, obviously some of them are already done, or I've done like the easier shades, so maybe not. But yeah, and like I said, I'm just going to be updating you as I have stuff to update and time. So, you know, the next update might be next month. It might be much later. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed watching this, and thank you for doing so. Until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye.